So I want to have an honest conversation with you, one that I don't think happens often enough in the personal finance space. So we often find ourselves talking about the milestones, the arriving, the achieving financial freedom, and all of those things. But we oftentimes don't talk about the journey, the process, and what you're experiencing, even when you might be further ahead than people expect. So here is my take. I've built a business, I've written 6 books. I've hit financial milestones that I only once dreamt of, but I still have moments of doubt. I still have moments of fear. I still face challenges when it comes to my money. And I still have old money stories that show up in my life based on my past experiences that I did not even invite. Because sometimes you see people who have done well with their finances and we feel like they're no longer relatable or there's nothing about them that makes it seem like they struggle with their money. And that is not true. So let's talk about that. Hi, my name is Bola Shokunbi. I'm the founder and CEO of Clever Girl Finance. I am the 6-time best-selling author of the Clever Girl Finance book series, including my most recent book, Clever Girl Millionaire. So I wanted to share some things about the financial journey, including things that people don't often talk about based on my own experience. Number one, the money mindset work never stops, even when you achieve your financial goals. So I remember back when I hit my first big savings milestone, and that was saving $100,000. And I want to be honest with you about what that moment felt like. It wasn't this big triumphant win or celebration. I didn't feel like, oh my God, wow, I have arrived, I have achieved it. It actually took me a minute to realize that I had achieved that milestone. I was like, wait a minute. Did I get here? Did my savings reach this point? Oh my God, wow, I did it. And then immediately the fear set in. The negative mindset came into place. Wow, was that me that really did it? Do I deserve to have this? What if I lose all of it? What if I make a stupid mistake? The mindset work never stops. And that was me reaching a milestone, realizing I had reached that milestone, and then starting to doubt myself and what I had accomplished. This was a scarcity mindset that I had carried with me for many years that didn't just disappear because I had saved $100,000. And so getting to a certain net worth, achieving certain financial goals doesn't automatically erase your past experiences with money. It doesn't erase how you were raised with money. It doesn't erase your personal money stories. For me, it's the fear of losing it all. And it is the scarcity mindset that whispers in my ear, even when my bank account is saying otherwise. The work is ongoing. And for some people, it may require therapy, it may require journaling, it may require talking candidly with somebody that you can relate to about what you're experiencing on this journey. It may require community, honest conversations. These things matter at every financial level. They matter when you pay off your debt, when you start achieving financial milestones, when you face setbacks. The mindset work is going to continue. And this is not a sign of failure, this is a sign of growth. Number two, another thing I realized is that more money brings different, not fewer financial decisions. So there's this idea that once you have more money, your financial decisions become easier and they're fewer and far between. And that is not true. In some ways, yes, financial decisions get easier because there's money to make decisions. But in many ways, your decisions become more complex. Think about things like taxes, estate planning, making sure that you're diversifying your investments, you're rebalancing your portfolio, making sure that you're on top of your business finances, and thinking about how can I use this money I have saved to create real impact. These are all decisions that I have had to think through, and I'm constantly thinking through now that I've achieved certain financial milestones. The stakes get higher. And so, what does that mean when it comes to different decision making when you have reached certain financial milestones? It means that financial knowledge, empowering yourself with financial literacy, is an ongoing effort. Because your decisions are different, right? You need to know how to handle them. I never had to explore taxes when I first started working and I was earning a lower income, but now I do. I did not have to think about estate planning, right? I didn't think about it much. I should have, but I didn't think about it much at all because I didn't have money to plan an estate, right? And I wasn't thinking about kids at the time because I didn't have any. So I wasn't thinking about estate planning in that way. But now that I have kids and now that I have built this portfolio and I have built these assets, I do have to think about it. And that also means that I have to learn about these things as well in more detail so I can now make those different and maybe more complex financial decisions. So the bottom line is that your financial literacy doesn't stop. You have to keep learning in order to keep growing and making the right kind of decisions for your current self, for your future self, and for these assets that you have built. So that's what I found in my own experience. Number three, comparison is still a trap, even when you have built assets, even when you have a higher income. Listen, there's always somebody out there that is doing better than you or appears to be doing better than you, that is earning more money than you, that has a better career, a bigger career than you. There's always somebody out there. And when you achieve certain financial milestones, when you pay off all your debt, you reach your savings goals, you reach your investment goals, it doesn't make you immune to comparison because you still see it and you still feel it. And so you have to really get clear on your sense of security and what is enough and contentment. Because if not, no amount of financial accomplishment will make you feel like you have enough. And so for me, what I've learned is that this is why it is so important that you build your financial goals, you build your financial life around your own personal definition of what is enough. So what is enough for me, Bola? That's what I have built my own financial goals around. And also my why has to tie into that idea of what is enough for me. Otherwise, the comparison is never ending. And when you're constantly comparing yourself to others based on what you don't have, then you start to make poor decisions as well. So people often will say that comparison can be motivating, but oftentimes it is negative and you don't even want to get into that space. So get clear on what is your enough. What are your own goals, your own values, and what is most meaningful to you in your own life? That is what I have learned. The journey to building wealth is as much about mindset as it is about money. And that is one of the things that Clever Girl Millionaire gets into deeply. I talk about this in depth. It's the book I wrote from my own experience building wealth, the real full picture, including my very messy middle. Grab your copy wherever books are sold and visit clevergirlfinance.com to check out our 30 plus completely free courses. Number four, the fear of losing it all can be just as heavy as the fear of never having it. So once you have built something, the fear of losing it can become paralyzing if you let it. So how does this happen? It happens because you start making overly conservative decisions out of fear, or you have analysis paralysis where you don't make any decisions at all because of the fear of losing it all. You stop investing because you're scared of the stock market. You don't want to lose your money. Or you say no to opportunities because they feel risky. These are all things that I have felt, I have done, and I've had to get past so I don't let my fear keep me stuck. And this fear comes from a scarcity mindset based on my upbringing and what I saw as a child. So I'll tell you where my scarcity mindset comes from, and it's tied to growing up and what I saw. I would see many times my mom's friends come to our house with their suitcases and their kids, and I would be in the corner of the living room listening to the conversation. And many times it was about, I need somewhere to stay for tonight, for the week, for the month with my kids because I have no options, I have no money, and I'm trying to exit a relationship or something has happened that has caused me to come to you with my children and my suitcases. And I just never wanted to find myself in that position ever. And so every time I build something, I would think back to that time in my life as a little girl listening to my mom and her friends and tell myself I never want to get there. And that created that scarcity mindset around the fear of losing it all because I never wanted to be that woman on a friend's couch with my suitcases and my kids saying I have no options. I have nowhere to go. Can I spend the night? Can I spend the week? Can I spend the month? And so that experience has followed me into adulthood because that little girl, little Bola, will still whisper, oh, what if you lose it all? Remember those women. But what I have learned is that on this journey of financial freedom, managing your fear is also part of the work. It is part of the journey, keeping that fear quiet, keeping it at bay, and when it flares up, figuring out how to silence it again. It's all part of the journey and it's all part of the work. And how do you do this? It's by having a solid financial plan, a strong community, a good financial planner, depending on your situation, if you need one, just having a strong anchor in terms of a plan that's in your corner that you can lean into when you need it. And what I've also learned is that the best antidote to fear is to build so intentionally and build so consistently that you now create a moat that is hard to lose. So your foundation becomes unshakable. Number five, I've also learned on this journey is that you have to give yourself permission to enjoy it. And that's one of the things that I have struggled with. There can be a lot of guilt around enjoying the fruits of your labor, especially if you didn't grow up with it, especially if people around you are still struggling. But the truth is that you cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot constantly give, 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 and not have anything for yourself, because then it becomes demotivating. And so, as you work on your financial goals, as you work intentionally to get out of debt, to save, to invest, to grow assets, to build wealth, it is okay to enjoy it. That's what I have learned. Celebrating your wins meaningfully and intentionally tie into your motivation and also help you be inspired to give back and continue to help other people. And this is all part of a healthy relationship with money. And as women, I think it's very important for us to feel proud of our financial accomplishments and feel proud to have done well with our money when we achieve our milestones and as we achieve our milestones. So, yes, it's okay to enjoy the life you have built, the life you are building, because you have earned it through your hard work. And then number six, your story is still unfolding. One of the most important things I want you to take away from this is that building wealth, well, what I have learned is that building wealth is not linear. It's not a straight line that doesn't have any detours or setbacks. It's not one straight shot. You're going to have setbacks. You're going to have pauses. You're going to have seasons in your life where things change, loss of income, income declines, life situations. You're also going to have incredible things that happen along the way on your journey to building wealth as you work on achieving your goals. There are setbacks, there are seasons of rebuilding, there are moments of incredible abundance, and that is all part of the journey. There are moments where you're going to have doubts. I feel doubt all the time, even after decades of building and putting in the hard work. It doesn't mean that you're a failure. It means that you're a human, you're doing your best. And the key is to keep going, to keep learning, and to keep going. And so it's just a reminder that your story is not over, especially if you're experiencing a setback right now. Whatever chapter you're in with your finances in your life, it's okay to start over. It's okay to reset. It's okay to recalibrate. But what is not okay is to give up. Leverage your next decision to move you forward. So, again, I wanted to share this just to have an honest conversation about money and my experiences with what I have learned on this journey to building wealth. It has not been a straight line, it has not been without difficulty, it is not without mindset challenges and personal challenges and struggles, but these things are all normal because they are part of life. The key is, how do we get past them? How do we move on from them? And this is how you're able to continue that journey to achieving your goals. The journey is real, and yes, absolutely, it is sometimes hard. It can be incredibly hard for long periods of time, but it is absolutely worth it. So I'd love for you to share in the comments, what part of your money journey do you sometimes struggle to talk about? What do you feel like you can't talk about? Share in the comments. I would love to know. I'd love to motivate you and support you. Remember, this is a safe space. Clever Girl Finance is a safe space. No shame, no judgment. And then share this with a woman who needs to know that she's not alone when it comes to how she's feeling about money and on her journey to building wealth. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you next time.